We often move through life underestimating our value, carrying the weight of doubt and insecurity as if it's ours to bear. But let me remind you today, you are more valuable than you give yourself credit for. The first step in focusing on yourself is to rediscover your worth, to remember who you truly are, and to step into the incredible potential that has always been inside of you. The world can sometimes feel like it's trying to diminish your value. Whether it's the opinions of others, societal standards, or even the voice inside your head, there are countless forces working to make you question your significance. But here's the truth, your worth isn't determined by external factors. It's not based on what you've achieved, the mistakes you've made, or how others perceive you. Your worth comes from within, from the unique light you carry that no one else can replicate. Think about this for a moment. Out of billions of people on this planet, there's only one you. Your experiences, your talents, your perspective, they are unmatched. And that alone makes you invaluable. The world doesn't need you to be like someone else. It needs you to be unapologetically yourself. When you embrace your worth, you begin to realize that you don't have to chase approval or prove yourself to anyone. You are already enough. But rediscovering your worth isn't always easy. Life has a way of throwing curveballs that can make you question who you are. Maybe you've been through a relationship that left you feeling less than. Maybe you faced rejection or failure and allowed it to define you. Or maybe you've simply been so busy pouring into everyone else, your family, your friends, your work, that you've neglected yourself. Whatever your story is, know this: it's never too late to reconnect with your value. Start by changing the way you speak to yourself. Often the harshest critic we face is the one in our own mind. We replay negative thoughts, focus on our flaws, and diminish our successes. But if you're going to rediscover your worth, you need to shift that inner dialogue. Begin speaking to yourself with kindness and encouragement. Replace self-doubt with affirmations like, I am capable, I am deserving, and I am enough. Words have power, and the words you speak to yourself will shape how you see yourself. Next, take time to reflect on your strengths and accomplishments. Too often we dwell on what we lack or what went wrong, but how often do you pause to celebrate what you've done right? Maybe you've overcome challenges that would have broken others. Maybe you've shown kindness and strength in ways that went unnoticed. Take a moment to acknowledge those victories, big or small. Each one is a testament to your resilience and worth. Another way to rediscover your worth is by surrounding yourself with people who lift you up. The company you keep matters. Are you spending time with people who see your potential and encourage your growth? Or are you surrounded by voices that sow doubt and negativity? If it's the latter, it's time to reevaluate those relationships. You deserve to be around people who remind you of your greatness, not diminish it. Remember that your worth is not tied to your past or your present circumstances. Maybe you've made mistakes, we all have. But your mistakes don't define you, they shape you. Maybe you're not where you want to be yet, but that doesn't mean you're any less valuable. Your worth is constant, unchanging, and immeasurable. Today is the day to stop selling yourself short. It's time to stop living as though you're just getting by and start walking in the confidence of knowing who you are. You are here for a purpose, and your life has meaning. Rediscovering your worth isn't about becoming someone new. It's about recognizing the incredible person you've always been. So take a deep breath, lift your head, and remind yourself you are worthy. You are enough. And it's time to focus on you. In today's world, distractions are everywhere. They come in many forms. Our phones constantly buzzing with notifications, the endless demands of work, the opinions of others, or even our own wandering thoughts. While some distractions may seem small or harmless, they can quickly add up and prevent us from achieving the clarity and focus we need to move forward in life. If you're going to truly focus on yourself, the first thing you must do is eliminate distractions. Distractions aren't always obvious. Sometimes they disguise themselves as responsibilities, relationships, or even hobbies. But the truth is, anything that consistently pulls your attention away from your goals, your growth, and your well-being is a distraction. It doesn't mean those things are bad, but if they're not aligned with your purpose, they could be holding you back. To focus on yourself, you have to become intentional about where your time, energy, and attention go. Start by taking an honest inventory of your life. What are the things that consume most of your time and energy? Are they helping you grow, or are they keeping you stuck? Are you spending hours scrolling through social media, comparing your life to others? Are you saying yes to every request for your time, even when it leaves you feeling drained? Are you surrounding yourself with people who constantly demand your attention but give little in return? These are the kinds of questions that will help you identify the distractions in your life. Once you've identified your distractions, the next step is to let them go. This can be challenging because often we become so accustomed to these distractions that we don't know how to function without them. But here's the truth: you can't move forward while you're still holding on to what's weighing you down. Letting go might mean spending less time on social media, cutting back on commitments, or even walking away from relationships that no longer serve you. It's not easy, but it's necessary. One of the most common distractions we face is the need to please others. How many times have you agreed to something just because you didn't want to disappoint someone? How often have you put your own needs and goals on hold to make someone else happy? While it's good to be kind and generous, there's a fine line between helping others and losing yourself in the process. Focusing on yourself means learning to say no when something doesn't align with your priorities. It's not selfish, it's essential. You can't pour from an empty cup. Another major distraction is fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of success. Fear can keep you stuck in a cycle of overthinking and hesitation, preventing you from taking action. It's important to recognize when fear is holding you back and to confront it head on. Remember, fear is just a distraction disguised as protection. Don't let it keep you from stepping into your full potential. Technology is another powerful distraction in today's world. While it has its benefits, it can also consume our lives if we're not careful. How often do you check your phone when you're supposed to be working on a goal? How much time do you spend watching other people live their lives instead of focusing on your own? To eliminate this distraction, consider setting boundaries with technology. Turn off unnecessary notifications. Set specific times to check your emails and unplug when you need to focus on yourself. You'll be amazed at how much more present and productive you can be. Don't forget the distraction of your own negative thoughts. The voice in your head that tells you you're not good enough or you'll never succeed can be one of the most damaging distractions of all. Learn to recognize these thoughts for what they are: just thoughts, not facts. Replace them with affirmations and reminders of your goals. Every time you redirect your thoughts, you're taking back control and eliminating a distraction that doesn't serve you. Eliminating distractions doesn't mean you'll never face them again, but it does mean you'll become better at recognizing and overcoming them. It's about creating a life where your energy is directed toward the things that matter most. When you eliminate distractions, you create space for clarity, focus, and growth. You make room for the things that truly deserve your attention, your goals, your passions, and your well-being. Today is the day to start removing the noise. Let go of what no longer serves you. Clear the path ahead. It's time to eliminate distractions and focus on the one person who truly matters right now: you. In life, nothing significant happens by accident. Behind every achievement, every milestone, and every success story is a clear, intentional goal. Yet so many people drift through life without a plan, hoping that things will somehow fall into place. But hope is not a strategy, and wishful thinking will only take you so far. If you want to truly focus on yourself and unlock your potential, you must take the time to set intentional goals. What does it mean to set intentional goals? It means deciding with clarity and purpose what you want to achieve and then aligning your thoughts, actions, and time toward that vision. It's not about vague wishes or generalized desires like "I want to be successful" or "I want to be happy." Those are wonderful aspirations, but they're too broad to guide your actions. Intentional goals are specific, measurable, and deeply connected to your core values. Start by asking yourself, what do I really want? This may sound simple, but it's a question that many people never stop to answer. Too often we pursue goals that aren't truly ours, goals imposed by society, our families, or the people around us. But when you set intentional goals, you focus on what genuinely matters to you. What lights a fire in your soul? What is the vision for your life? When your goals align with your purpose, they become more than tasks on a checklist. They become the driving force behind everything you do. Once you've identified what you want, break it down into smaller, actionable steps. Big dreams can feel overwhelming, but when you break them into manageable pieces, they become achievable. For example, if your goal is to improve your health, don't just say, "I want to be healthier." Set specific, intentional goals like exercising for 30 minutes a day, drinking more water, or eating a balanced diet. Each small step brings you closer to the larger vision. Next, write your goals down. There's power in putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboard. When you write your goals, they move from being abstract ideas to concrete commitments. Studies have shown that people who write down goals are significantly more likely to achieve them. Don't just keep them in your head, make them visible. Place them somewhere you'll see them every day, a journal, a vision board, or even a sticky note on your mirror. Every time you see them, you'll be reminded of where you're headed. But intentional goal setting doesn't stop at writing things down. You must also create a plan for how to achieve them. This means being intentional about your time and energy. Ask yourself, what steps do I need to take today, this week, or this month to move closer to my goal? Create a schedule that prioritizes those actions. Remember, saying yes to your goals often means saying no to distractions, unnecessary commitments, and anything that doesn't serve your purpose. Another key aspect of setting intentional goals is accountability. Share your goals with someone you trust, a mentor, a friend, or a family member who will encourage and challenge you to stay on track. Accountability keeps you honest and provides support when the road gets tough. And let's be honest, it will get tough. There will be moments of doubt, setbacks, and times when progress feels slow. But when your goals are intentional, you'll find the motivation to keep going because you'll know you're working towards something that truly matters. Celebrate your progress along the way. Every step forward, no matter how small, is worth recognizing. Too often we wait to celebrate until we've achieved the final goal, but focusing on small victories will keep you motivated and reinforce the belief that you're capable of achieving more. Be flexible and open to growth. As you work towards your goals, you may discover new opportunities or even refine your vision. That's okay. Intentional goals are not about being rigid. They're about staying focused on what truly matters while allowing room for life's surprises. Intentional goals are the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. They give your life direction, clarity, and purpose. So stop drifting. Stop waiting for the perfect moment or for someone else to give you permission. Take control of your life by setting intentional goals that align with who you are and what you want. Today, decide that you're no longer living passively. Decide to live with intention, to pursue your dreams with focus, and to take consistent steps toward the life you envision. Your future depends on the goals you set today. It's time to stop wishing and start planning. It's time to set intentional goals and focus on you. In life, your time, energy, and attention are your most valuable resources. But too often we give them away freely, leaving ourselves drained, overwhelmed, and disconnected from our true purpose. That's why creating boundaries is one of the most important steps you can take to focus on yourself. Boundaries are not about pushing people away. They're about protecting your priorities, preserving your peace, and ensuring that your life aligns with your values. What does it mean to create boundaries? It means setting clear limits around what you will and won't tolerate in your life. It's about defining what's acceptable in your relationships, your work, and your personal time. Without boundaries, it's easy to become a victim of other people's expectations and demands, leaving little room for your own goals and well-being. Boundaries are not walls meant to isolate you. They're fences that protect what matters most. One of the first steps in creating boundaries is recognizing where your time and energy are going. Take an honest look at your life. Are you saying yes to every request, even when you don't have the capacity? Are you constantly putting others' needs ahead of your own, to the point where you feel depleted? Are you allowing toxic behaviors, whether from others or yourself, to invade your peace? Identifying these patterns is crucial because you can't fix what you don't acknowledge. Once you've identified where boundaries are needed, it's time to define them. This requires clarity. For example, if you feel overwhelmed by work demands, a boundary might be, I won't check emails after 6 p.m. If a friend or family member frequently oversteps, your boundary might be, I can't always drop everything to help, but I'll support you in other ways. Boundaries should be specific, realistic, and focused on protecting your mental and emotional health. Communicating your boundaries is equally important. People can't respect what they don't know. This can feel uncomfortable at first, especially if you're not used to asserting yourself. But remember, boundaries are an act of self-respect. You're not being selfish or unkind. You're simply being honest about what you need. Use clear, calm language when setting boundaries. For example, say, I appreciate your concern, but I need space to make my own decisions, or I'm happy to help, but I need advance notice. You may encounter resistance when you start creating boundaries, especially from people who have benefited from your lack of them. They may push back, complain, or try to guilt you into returning to old patterns. Stay firm. Remember, your boundaries are not about controlling others. They're about taking control of your life. You're not responsible for other people's reactions, only your actions. Another critical aspect of boundaries is consistency. It's not enough to set them once and hope for the best. You need to enforce them regularly. This means sticking to your limits even when it's tempting to bend them. For example, if you've decided to reserve your weekends for rest, don't agree to work overtime or attend every event you're invited to. Consistency reinforces your boundaries and shows others and yourself that you're serious about prioritizing your well-being. Creating boundaries isn't just about saying no to others. It's also about saying yes to yourself. It's about making time for what nourishes your soul, whether that's pursuing your goals, spending time with loved ones, or simply resting. Boundaries create the space for you to grow, heal, and thrive. They allow you to focus on what truly matters without the constant pull of distractions or demands. It's important to remember that boundaries aren't set in stone. Life changes, and so do your needs. Reevaluate your boundaries regularly to ensure they still serve you. Are they helping you stay focused and balanced, or do they need adjusting? Being flexible doesn't mean abandoning your boundaries. It means refining them as you grow. Understand that creating boundaries is an act of courage. It's not always easy to stand up for yourself, especially in a world that often glorifies self-sacrifice. But the truth is, you can't pour from an empty cup. When you create boundaries, you're not only protecting yourself, but also setting an example for others. You're showing them that it's possible to honor your needs while still being kind and compassionate. Today, decide to take control of your life by creating boundaries that align with your values and goals. Protect your time, guard your energy, prioritize your peace. It's not just about focusing on yourself, it's about creating a life where you can thrive. When you establish and honor your boundaries, you give yourself the freedom to be the best version of you. It's time to create boundaries and focus on the life you deserve. Self-discipline is the cornerstone of personal growth and success. It is the ability to stay focused on your goals, make consistent progress, and resist the temptations that could lead you astray. Without self-discipline, even the best intentions and the most detailed plans can falter. If you truly want to focus on yourself and achieve your full potential, you must learn to practice self-discipline. At its core, self-discipline is about making choices that align with your long-term goals, even when those choices are difficult in the short term. It's about saying no to instant gratification and yes to delayed rewards. For example, choosing to exercise when you'd rather stay in bed, saving money instead of spending it impulsively, or working on a project instead of binge watching your favorite show. These small daily decisions might not seem significant on their own, but over time, they add up to monumental progress. The first step in developing self-discipline is understanding your why. Why are you pursuing your goals? What drives you? Having a clear sense of purpose provides the motivation needed to stay disciplined. When you know why you're doing something, it becomes easier to push through challenges and resist distractions. Your why acts as your anchor, keeping you steady when the waves of temptation or doubt threaten to pull you off course. Another critical aspect of self-discipline is setting realistic and achievable goals. While it's important to dream big, breaking those dreams into smaller, manageable steps makes them less overwhelming. If your goal is to get in shape, for instance, don't aim to run a marathon right away. Start by committing to a 15-minute walk each day. Small wins build confidence and create momentum, making it easier to stay disciplined over the long haul. Self-discipline also requires consistency. It's not about making one big effort and then stopping. It's about showing up every day, even when you don't feel like it. Consistency is what transforms actions into habits and habits into a lifestyle. Remember, motivation may get you started, but discipline keeps you going. There will be days when you feel unmotivated or tired. That's normal. What matters is that you take action anyway. Even small steps on difficult days keep you moving in the right direction. To practice self-discipline effectively, you need to eliminate distractions and temptations. This might mean creating a workspace free from interruptions, setting limits on screen time, or avoiding situations that lead to unhealthy habits. For instance, if you're trying to eat healthier, don't keep junk food in the house. If you're trying to save money, avoid browsing online shopping sites. By removing temptations from your environment, you make it easier to stay focused on your goals. Accountability is another powerful tool for building self-discipline. Share your goals with a trusted friend, mentor, family member who can encourage and challenge you to stay on track. Accountability provides an extra layer of motivation, especially when you know someone else is invested in your success. You might also consider tracking your progress in a journal or app. Seeing how far you've come can be incredibly motivating and help you stay disciplined. It's important to approach self-discipline with self-compassion. No one is perfect, and there will be times when you slip up. Maybe you skip a workout, overspend, or procrastinate. Instead of beating yourself up, acknowledge the mistake, learn from it, and recommit to your goals. Remember, discipline is not about being flawless, it's about being resilient. What matters is that you get back on track and keep moving forward. Developing self-discipline takes time and effort, but the rewards are worth it. When you practice self-discipline, you gain control over your life. You become the kind of person who keeps promises to yourself, follows through on commitments, and achieves what you set out to do. Over time, self-discipline becomes a habit, and you'll find that focusing on yourself and your goals feels natural and effortless. Finally, celebrate your progress. Each time you make a disciplined choice, you're one step closer to the life you want. Acknowledge your efforts and take pride in your growth. Self-discipline is not about denying yourself joy, it's about creating a life of lasting fulfillment. So today, make the decision to practice self-discipline. Choose actions that align with your goals, stay consistent, and keep your why in mind. Every small act of discipline is a vote for the person you're becoming. Focus on yourself, stay committed, and watch as your efforts transform your life. It's time to embrace self-discipline and step into your greatness. Self-care is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's the foundation for living a fulfilled, balanced life and a vital step in focusing on yourself. Many people think of self-care as indulgent or selfish, but in reality, it's the opposite. Taking care of yourself allows you to show up as your best self for the people and responsibilities in your life. If you neglect self-care, you're not only doing a disservice to yourself, but also to those who depend on you. At its core, self-care is about recognizing your own needs and taking intentional steps to meet them. It's understanding that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you're constantly giving without replenishing, you'll eventually burn out. Embracing self-care means making your well-being a priority and treating yourself with the same kindness and consideration you show to others. Self-care starts with the basics. Are you getting enough rest? Sleep is one of the most undervalued aspects of self-care, yet it's crucial for your physical, mental, and emotional health. Without adequate sleep, your energy, focus, and mood suffer. Make rest a priority by creating a bedtime routine, limiting screen time before bed, and ensuring your sleep environment is comfortable and conducive to rest. Remember, rest is not a sign of weakness, it's a source of strength. Nutrition is another essential aspect of self-care. What you put into your body affects how you feel, think, and perform. Eating a balanced diet isn't about restriction or perfection. It's about nourishing yourself with foods that fuel your body and mind. Pay attention to how certain foods make you feel and make choices that energize and sustain you. Hydration is equally important. Drinking enough water is a simple yet powerful way to care for yourself. Physical activity is a form of self-care that goes beyond fitness. Exercise releases endorphins, reduces stress, and improves your overall well-being. Find an activity you enjoy, whether it's yoga, walking, dancing, or strength training. The goal isn't to look a certain way, but to feel good in your body and strengthen it to support you through life's demands. Even small, consistent efforts can have a significant impact. Self-care isn't just about physical health, it's also about nurturing your emotional and mental well-being. Take time to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? What's weighing on your mind? Journaling can be a powerful tool for processing emotions and gaining clarity. Meditation or mindfulness practices can help you stay grounded and reduce stress. If you're facing challenges, don't hesitate to seek support from a trusted friend, family member, or therapist. Asking for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Another critical component of self-care is creating time for activities that bring you joy. When was the last time you did something purely because it made you happy? Whether it's reading a book, painting, gardening, or listening to music, these moments of joy are essential for your spirit. They remind you of who you are beyond your responsibilities and help you reconnect with your passions. Boundaries are a form of self-care that often go overlooked. Saying no to what drains you and yes to what nurtures you is one of the most empowering things you can do. This might mean limiting time with people who bring negativity into your life, stepping back from commitments that don't align with your priorities, or carving out time for yourself each day, no matter how busy you are. Spiritual self-care is another dimension worth exploring. Whether it's prayer, meditation, or spending time in nature, nurturing your spiritual side helps you connect with something greater than yourself. It provides a sense of purpose, peace, and perspective that can carry you through life's ups and downs. Remember, self-care is not a one-size-fits-all approach. What works for one person might not work for another. Take the time to explore and discover what self-care looks like for you. It's about listening to your needs and honoring them in a way that feels authentic and sustainable. Most importantly, don't let guilt hold you back. Society often glorifies busyness and self-sacrifice, making self-care seem like a selfish act. But taking care of yourself is one of the most selfless things you can do. When you're well-rested, nourished, and emotionally balanced, you're better equipped to handle life's challenges and support those around you. Today, make the decision to embrace self-care. Treat it as a non-negotiable part of your life, not something you do only when everything else is taken care of. By prioritizing your well-being, you're not only investing in yourself, but also setting the stage for a healthier, happier, and more focused you. You deserve to be cared for not just by others, but by yourself. So take the time to focus on you, because you're worth it. Celebrating your progress is an essential part of focusing on yourself. Too often, we get caught up in the pursuit of big goals, forgetting to acknowledge the small victories along the way. But those small wins are what build momentum and keep you moving forward. By taking time to recognize and celebrate your achievements, you cultivate a mindset of gratitude, self-respect, and motivation. It's not about being boastful, it's about honoring the journey you're on and the progress you've made. Why is celebrating progress so important? It's because progress isn't always obvious. Big milestones like promotions, graduations, or hitting a major goal can take months, even years, to achieve. If you only wait for those monumental moments to feel accomplished, you might lose motivation along the way. Celebrating the small steps, waking up early to exercise, completing a challenging task, or even choosing a positive attitude during a tough day reminds you that you're growing every single day. To celebrate your progress, you first need to recognize it. This starts with being mindful of the steps you're taking toward your goals. Take a moment to reflect on where you started and compare it to where you are now. Maybe you've developed a healthier routine, taken steps toward financial stability, or learned to set boundaries in relationships. These are all victories worth celebrating. Write them down or create a visual representation, like a progress board, to remind yourself of how far you've come. Celebrating progress doesn't have to be elaborate. It's not about throwing a party every time you check something off your to-do list. Instead, find ways to reward yourself that feel meaningful and aligned with your journey. Maybe it's treating yourself to a favorite meal, taking a relaxing day off, or buying something small that brings you joy. The key is to make the celebration intentional so it feels like a true acknowledgement of your effort and growth. Another way to celebrate progress is to share it with others. Tell a trusted friend, family member, or mentor about your achievements. Sometimes hearing someone else say, "I'm proud of you," can make your progress feel even more real. However, be selective about who you share with. Choose people who genuinely support your growth and will celebrate with you rather than those who might dismiss or downplay your accomplishments. Gratitude is a powerful aspect of celebrating progress. Take time to be thankful for the opportunities, lessons, and even the challenges that have helped you grow. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's already present in your life. It reminds you that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step worth appreciating. Consider keeping a gratitude journal where you write down things you're thankful for, including the progress you've made. It's also important to recognize that progress isn't always linear. There will be setbacks, detours, and moments when it feels like you're standing still. Celebrating progress means embracing these moments too. Growth often happens in the struggle. When you overcome a challenge or bounce back from a setback, that's progress worth celebrating. These moments teach resilience and show you just how capable you are. Celebrating progress isn't just about looking back, it's also about looking forward. Reflecting on your achievements helps you gain clarity about your next steps. It reinforces the habits and choices that have worked well for you and provides motivation to keep going. When you celebrate, you're sending yourself a powerful message: I'm proud of myself and I'm worth the effort. That message builds confidence and strengthens your focus on yourself and your goals. Avoid the trap of minimizing your progress. It's easy to think it's not that big of a deal, or I still have so far to go, but every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Don't compare your progress to anyone else's. Your journey is uniquely yours. What matters is that you're moving in the right direction. Celebrate those steps because they're bringing you closer to the person you're becoming. Finally, make celebrating progress a habit. Incorporate it into your daily or weekly routine. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what did I accomplish today? It could be something as simple as drinking more water, staying calm during a stressful situation, or dedicating time to your goals. These small moments add up, and acknowledging them regularly keeps your motivation alive. So take the time to celebrate your progress. It's not just a pat on the back, it's a reminder that you're growing, learning, and evolving every day. Each step forward is a testament to your effort and commitment. Celebrate the journey, not just the destination. Focus on yourself, honor your progress, and keep moving toward the incredible life you're building.